Hello, this is Jeff Bird with Jeffrey Bird Coaching. Today I'd like to speak for a minute about a word and a topic that has come up a number of times recently, and that is the theme of tenacity. Tenacity. Now, when I think of tenacity, I think of tentacles, like the octopus has. And it's those tentacles that give the octopus the ability to hang on to something. And that's what tenacity is, the ability to hang on. I think they used to call it in the old days stick-to-itiveness. You're sticking to the goal, to the dream, to what it is that you're after. And when we start out with a dream and with a vision, it's all well and good. There's usually a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. When we've just accomplished a dream and fulfilled something, there's a lot of energy and enthusiasm. But during that between period, when things get tough, when it seems like you've gone so far but you've got so far to go, there's so much that you need, and sometimes there's so much opposition, it can be tough not to get discouraged. When I think about tenacity, I have to think about the director of a school that I founded in Pakistan, the Bird Young Leaders School. His name is Nakash Gill, and he and his team there have tenacity. In just the few years since we started the school, we've been kicked out of one of the houses that was hosting the school. We've had to raise funds that we didn't know where we were going to get them to buy our own property and a school. We had a child that was killed in an auto accident crossing the street. He got around the crossing guard somehow and was hit and killed on the spot. We had to move the school. There's been lots of cultural opposition there because these kids are used for slave labor in the brick kilns, and there wasn't an educational system in this particular area there where these kids are. And there's just been a lot of pushback culturally. Typically, girls were not educated. We're educating girls. But these guys, this team, has, because they believed that they were fulfilling what they are here to do and educating these kids and caring for these kids, they have stuck to it. They have pushed through, they have pressed through. And I just want to give a big shout out to Nakash and the team there at the school in Pakistan. But I also want to pull out some principles, a few things to remember no matter what your dream is. Because obviously if it's a dream, you wouldn't have to be moving towards it if it were already a reality. It wouldn't be a dream. So whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, a few things will help you stick to it and be tenacious and keep moving forward. First thing I think that's a big encouragement is to recognize and value the people who have helped you already get where you are. You wouldn't be where you are in your pursuit of your goal if some other people hadn't come alongside. Reaching out, thanking them, valuing them, just appreciating them in your heart. That's a big step. Number two is to remember all the progress that's been made. Sometimes, we can just be weighed down with thinking what we need, how far we have to go. But when we think back on where we've already come from, where we've already been, the progress that's already been made, the difference that's been made, the growth we've had, that will light that fire and ignite and give us fresh hope to keep moving forward. The third thing is to keep the big picture in mind. Now, the big picture is always the why. It includes the why. What are we after and why are we after it? What's the value? Why do we do what we do? Why do we sacrifice what we sacrifice? Why do we keep at it? Why? What does it matter? Keep that why and the big picture in front and the value that it's going to have when it's fulfilled. And then the fourth thing and the last thing is there's a book that was written called Why Geese Fly Farther Than Eagles. That may be surprising, but geese fly farther in a year than most eagles do. The reason is they work as a team. And I'm sure you've seen geese flying in that typical V formation. Well, that lead bird is doing a lot of work. And they take turns so no one wears out. But with every flap of that lead goose's wings in the right direction, he's giving an updraft to everybody following him. So remember, if it's getting a tough time, everything you do, every action, big or small, moving in the direction of that dream, keeping on going, keeping on believing, every downdraft, every time you flap, you're giving an updraft to the people behind you. And then when they flap, because they saw your example, they're giving an updraft to the people behind them. So those are 4 steps to being tenacious. Hope you're having a great day. We'll see you next time. This is Jeff Bird.